For many cattlemen, the 2008 grazing season will be as important as any in recent memory. Cattleman to Cattleman's Kevin Oxner had a chance to learn more about accomplishing grazing goals in Texas from some of the experts of Dow AgriSciences.
As the saying goes, every day grazed puts money in your pocket. This year, that adage holds more truth than ever. Whether you're looking to extend the grazing season, graze more cattle, or gain flexibility in your grazing programs, Byron Slew with Dow AgriSciences says weed control is a good place to start.
If you have heavy infestation of certain weeds that will limit the access of the animals to the forage and also could possibly be toxic to the livestock, you want to make sure that those are controlled. We have seen in many different situations across different geographic locations as much as 1.5 to 2 times the increase in the grass production after the weeds have been removed. There's definitely a reaction, or I guess you could say a compensation in the grass growth once the competition from the weeds has actually been reduced by the application of a herbicide.
When it comes to managing broadleaf weeds on pastures and rangeland, you have several options. Mowing, clipping, or shredding have their place, but Slew recommends a more lasting solution.
A lot of producers who are seeking to do kind of a low input approach will think that mowing is the best option, and they'll go out and mow it and it looks good. But often what they do is they're spreading seeds by doing the mowing. Not only are they cutting the seed heads off and dropping them on the ground, but often they're also reducing their forage output because they've just mowed the grass also. So that's not necessarily the best option. And many of these weeds, after being mowed, they spread. That's typical for most plants. Once the tops have been cut off, is to go into a much more spread out growth habit. The other side of it is a herbicide, which is a selective herbicide that will take those broadleaf weeds out. Often can be applied over a wider window of time. So you need to first do your homework and see what the weeds are that are out there, what the appropriate time for that application would be, whether it's an annual or a perennial, and then make a choice for a herbicide that you would use.
Using herbicides to control broadleaf weeds and undesirable woody plants or brush in pastures doesn't have to be complex or intimidating. Backpack or small hand sprayers work great for small weed patches, or simply outfit your ATV. When it comes to larger areas, broadcast applications are the most cost-effective option. If you have the equipment, your local ag chem dealer can help you choose the right product for the job, or you can turn to a custom applicator. Tommy Brandenberger with Meagle Feed and Grain in Hallettsville, Texas, explains what you can expect.
Well, we take every customer as an individual account, and we look at their real needs to see whether their time allows them to do the work, or if they're wanting us to do it, and sit down and between the two of us work out a plan that's best for him.
Meagle Feed and Grain offers custom application or the equipment to do it yourself, along with the advice to select the best option.
Considerations that he might go through or we might go through with him would be the scope and size of his job, the location, the amount of trees or cover that he has on the land, and then of course his attunement to total costs, when he wants it done, what time he has to do it himself or he'd rather us do it. Most of the time the larger jobs we do ourselves. The smaller jobs, there's more of a tendency that the rancher himself might do that.
Whether you make the application yourself or have it custom applied, Brandenberger says the benefits are clear.
Well, typically speaking, on someone that's not accustomed to the business of fertilizing and weed spraying, we typically get comments like, gee, I just didn't realize we could grow that much grass, or it looks so pretty being weed-free, or we've had a real negative impact on the brush that was encroaching in these fields after we've sprayed them. Those are things, productive things that we've added to the landscape and actually put money in the rancher's pocket by growing more forage at a lower cost for his cattle.
When we return, we'll learn more about how keeping grasslands in top condition can help add to your bottom line. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's return to Texas, where reporter Kevin Oxner is learning more about managing grasslands in the 2008 climate.
Applications by airplane or by helicopter are another option. George Mitchell is president of M&M Air Service, a third-generation full-service aerial application company in Beaumont, Texas. He says technology makes aerial application ideal for efficient, cost-effective rangeland and pasture improvement.
Crop duster mentality is over. Today we're professional ag pilots flying high dollar equipment. We can offer the rancher or the farmer the best of the best. And we have the state of the art.
Well, probably one of the most important factors is that you're not disturbing the soil. When you go in mechanically and disturb the soil, what you're doing is stirring up the seed bed and probably creating more of a problem than what you already have. Some of this country that we cover and we work, there's no way you can get any type of ground applicator in there. Most of the brush is too tall. The airplane's a really effective way to get across it, especially in areas of terrain, not necessarily down here on the coast in the flatlands, but when you get out further west into the hill country, you know, our terrain changes and the ground rig has its place and the airplane has its place.
The benefit is mainly time. You know, time is always an issue. You know, the longer you wait, the worse it gets when you're starting to talk about weeds or even insects. We can come in and take care of it in an allotted amount of time, and because there's only a certain window to take care of this, and we fit in that window to get in and there and out.
Mark Mullis is also a pilot at M&M. His specialty is helping restore production to western rangelands overrun by thirsty woody plants and brush. Through precision application of dry, pelleted spiked 20P herbicide, he's seen grasslands rejuvenate and streams spring back to life.
I like to take a lot of pictures, and I've got a lot of photographs of treated versus untreated areas, both from the ground and from the air. A picture's worth 1,000 words when you show it to a rancher. They talk about the springs running again. It's amazing to see firsthand the grass growth. As soon as that brush starts to die, the grass will start coming through. And those pictures really have a big impact.
There are some important pasture spraying tips for 2008. The experts at Dow AgriSciences recommend managing weeds to maximize moisture and to aid drought recovery. Also, increase spray volumes to penetrate a heavy grass canopy. Work with your dealer or applicator for prescriptive recommendations, and properly time applications to improve results.